Thanks for joining me on today's video. I'm John McDonald from JM Run Coach. Today I'm going to talk about when is the best time to get back onto a training plan after a target marathon. And I suppose after any target race, when is the best time to take on the next one? And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to talk about a training tip that a lot of people don't take into account after a 16-week or 20-week training block for a marathon. I think you'll enjoy that. If you enjoy running content, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. I'll be putting out a lot more running related content over the next months and years, and in particular talking a lot about marathon training, as that's my particular area of expertise. Let's talk about myself as a running coach and a runner. There is a common perception out there that you're only as good as your last race. You're only as good as your last marathon, or whatever your particular distance is. I did not hit my target in Valencia. However, I'm extremely proud of the effort I put in, and it doesn't take away from the fact that I ran 3:00. It was far off. If you followed the 2:49 project, I wasn't even close. However, as a runner, that affects me more insofar as I think, I definitely can do better. I know I'm better than that, but there's always those doubts. Have I run my best marathon? Am I only as good as my last race? As a running coach, I know for a fact that I will do better in the next one or the one after that. Or, my point is, with the correct training, the right intensity, the right volume, putting everything together at the right time, staying injury free, all the rest, I know I can do better. And as a running coach, I am working on looking over what went right and what went wrong for Valencia. I'm very confident for the next one. So I have a place in London in April, and between now and then, I will do a little bit more racing and really put together a targeted program for that. I'm currently sitting 7 days after Valencia. I've had a very pleasant week. Sore legs, sure. I've only done a total of 9 miles since Valencia, just to get those muscles kind of loosened out. I should have done a shakeout probably on Monday or Tuesday, but I didn't. I waited until Thursday to do a 5K. I had a sports massage on Friday. My legs feel really good, and today I did a nice, very easy 10K. My current thought process is, although coming towards the end of the Valencia training block, my head was in a place of saying, I am really ready to be done with this training, this discipline, this, strength work every day, yoga twice a week, a lot of volume running wise. I was ready to see the end of that. And my head was in a place where I was saying, do you know what? I really don't want to get onto a plan again for a while. I'm ready to see the end of it. Now, 7 days after not really running a particularly great run in Valencia, I'm sitting here saying I cannot wait to get back on to a training plan, right? What do I take into account when I'm talking about whether it's myself or my athletes that I coach? When is the time to get back on to a plan? That really depends on the individual. I personally thrive on the discipline of being on a plan. As much as I've enjoyed these last 7 days of eating without thought, of not having to go out and do the running, of getting things done around the house that I haven't got done because I was out training. As much as I've liked this week, my head is sitting here telling me I need to get back onto a plan, onto the discipline. And additionally, I'm very motivated right now. So from a runner's point of view, my head is telling me, all right, let's get back onto it and let's just go out and crush it in London. The coach in me is telling me, all right, let's just take a couple more weeks of low intensity, low volume, let the body heal up, and then get back onto it. What is the advantage of starting earlier? The biggest advantage is you're in a really good starting point. I am currently in a really good starting point. If I was to start in 2 weeks' time training for London, I'm in good shape. I've got 26 pretty fast miles under my belt, and it's just a matter of keeping that intensity and starting to build the volume again, and I'll be in a really good place, in a better place than I was for Valencia. As an example, in 2022 in Manchester, I ran 3:00:29, and then 7 weeks later, I ran 2:58 in Kildare on a much more difficult course. So that's an example of a race not going to plan really clicking the motivation in my head. And I have to say it was a big success for me. Other people may need longer. So one of the disadvantages of starting up soon after a marathon or a target marathon is that the motivation is harder to keep. It's harder to hold on to that discipline when you've just come off a 16-week block and you're starting another one. It does get more and more difficult as you go. So it really depends on the individual. The individual will really need to tune into their bodies, and your body will tell you if you're ready to start up again. And your head, your body and your head, it is one organism, and sometimes your head will keep your body feeling fatigued and what have you. It's a matter of, you'll know when you're ready to get back at it. I know when I'm ready to get back at it. Personally, for me, I think 2 to 3 weeks off and I'm good to go again. I'm hopeful that in another week's time, I'll be raring to go and get started for London. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that I have to keep in mind, is we've got the holidays coming up. Christmas time is a time when my family, we all get together. I have 2 kids over in the States and I have 2 in England, and my wife and I live here in Spain. We are meeting up in Ireland to get together. And so that's going to be a time of probably less discipline and more kind of just wanting to be a little bit lazier and hanging out with the family. However, I'll be in Ireland and I'll be amongst more of my running friends, so there'll be motivation there as well. So it's a balancing act, right? Life is a balance. Running is a balance. It's important to strike that balance. For me, 2 to 3 weeks is ideal. For others, it could be 4, 5, 6 weeks. It could be a year. For a lot of people, 1 marathon a year is plenty. There's a lot of advice out there on the internet. I would say, from a coaching perspective, it's down to the individual. When you're ready, you'll know you're ready. For me, I am 1 week out of a training block and I'm ready to get back on it. So I will take another week of very low volume, low intensity, and just get back at it at the end of 2 weeks. Thanks for sticking around for this section of the video where I'm talking about the bonus tip that a lot of marathon runners don't take advantage of. In my experience, 3 weeks after running a target marathon is an ideal time to go out and smash a 5K. Absolutely feels like a walk in the park. You've got the intensity in those legs. Your body will have made the adaptations from your race, from your target marathon, and a 5K is going to feel so easy, and it's just a really good time to get those legs turning over again. I highly recommend it, whether it's not always easy to get a race every weekend, but there are park runs out there, and there are races available. Uh, get out there after your target marathon, 3 weeks, and go smash a 5K. You will not be sorry, I guarantee it. I'd love to hear about your experience of when is the best time to get back on plan to target the next race, whatever that race is. And also, have you ever gone out and raced a 5K 2 to 3 weeks after a target marathon? I'd really like to get some feedback on that. Let me know. So until next week, have a great week of running, and I will see you then.